Welcome to Mind Your Moments, where we invite you to bloom forward with us as we dive into professional wellness, personal growth, and honest conversations around mental health. She's Anna.
And she's Crystal. And together we have over 3 decades of serving the behavioral health space. Let's get to it. Well, welcome to Mind Your Moments. We're here just after our Mindful Moments Recharge, where we were with, I think there was probably about 14 or 15 people with us this morning. Mm-hmm. Guys, I gotta tell you, that was nice. I really feel like people connected over that. So we're talking about beyond the role, rediscovering the person behind the profession.
Yeah, it was definitely, we had a great group this morning, and I'm excited to continue the conversation with you guys.
Yes.
There were some that was like that normally don't or haven't joined and opened up as well. So it's really nice.
It was. There were a few things that I walked away with that I wouldn't even think about as we, we're putting together that recharge session. And I love that. So people having insight of how they've changed through therapy, what specific changes they've made, and how it's not just the person behind the profession, it's the person behind any title, I suppose. We talked about parenthood this morning.
Yeah.
And what it's like to be that person, behind the parent, I guess.
Yeah, I think, it was mentioned that we put on a lot of hats, right? And like we are, the parent, the employee, the employer, the husband, the wife, the whatever it is. And then like who are we without those titles? Because the thing is life is consistently changing. So whether it's, being a parent and your kids, fleeing the coop and going off to college, moving out, learning a new dynamic with your spouse, changes in what that looks like, or changing in a role or whatever that might be. So I think one of the things that I really took from today's session was it was talked about healing, healing through the trauma and the things that you've experienced as an individual, and that kind of allowing you the freedom and ability to be yourself, the person underneath all the hats, like taking all those hats off, who we are as the individual.
And I think also remembering to stay very authentically yourself and true, and that the hats that you wear don't have to define you, like in your jobs, your professions, and being a mom or, being in recovery even can also, that doesn't have to define you. That doesn't always have to just be your only personality trait that you let people see. You can let your whole self out and do things for you that you genuinely love to do, but also having those conversations with people. It's not just about, hi, I'm Carly, I work here. Like it's those little things that you can take out and just be like, I'm Carly, I like to get my nails done. Like those sort of things, and sharing with people and creating those relationships on trust, because there are so many times we don't even know what people do, but I know I can trust that person and I can ask them either for help, or I know that they'll help my client or someone I'm sending to them too.
Yes. Well, I know I experience it in my own life professionally. What I do for work is, I'm not just going to, it's demanding, obviously. Hello, everyone's job is demanding. I don't want to, put myself on a pedestal, oh, my job's so demanding. It's not that it's demanding. It requires all of me most of the time. That's the field that I'm in, right? In behavioral health, currently, it requires all of me all the time. And making time to do something other than work. Because number one, I love what I do. I do. I really genuinely love it. So that's easy to spend time doing what I love. But it's pouring out so often and not putting in. I think that that's where my identity gets tied up into work is when was the last time I paid attention to Anna? What am I paying attention to? And when was the last time I set some time aside? And that's one of the things we talked about was reclaiming some of your time, protecting time each day and week for what fills your soul, not just your schedule.
Mhm.
And if I'm not intentional about that, it'll be Sunday night. I'm like, I haven't done anything for myself this week, really.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing fun. FUN, what? That's like a bad 3 letter word. I don't do it enough, you know? And luckily, we have minder moments and mindful moments recharge. So that for me is an outlet, as it is, I think, for you guys too. But if I'm not paying attention to myself and I'm paying attention to my role and the responsibilities, I get lost in the sauce. The true, authentic Anna gets lost in the sauce.
Well, and I think, that's a really good point. It's so we did a post not too long ago about a permission slip. Like we don't need a permission slip to, enjoy ourselves and take time for ourselves. But for some reason, and I don't know about you guys, but for me, like I find that if I have a free moment, let's say it's on a weekend, right? And I have a free moment from the kiddos or the house or this or that, then I'm like trying to squeeze in something for work. And part of that is like I love, love, love what I do, but being able to put a boundary in for myself to recognize like, yes, I love what I do, but how do I continue to show up for them 100% if I'm not showing up for me?
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say this too, I love to do other things. You know what I mean? Yes, I love what I do, but I also love to do other things. And I think that those other things, more often than not, are I'm not paying attention to them. You know,
Yeah, there
art and music and self-expression and friendships, those need attention too. They need my attention as well.
Well, I think it's like how we went to the open mic, and that was so much fun and so wonderful. And it was great to see people like open up and share some pretty deep things that I know one of the girls said that she had never shared before.
Yeah.
Um, and just being able to do that and do those things when you're ready and you feel ready to share those things, but like, hey, I can do this. Like I can get on that open mic and do these things.
yeah.
Um, and taking that chance, or even if you're having a hard time and opening up to someone you haven't opened up to before because you trust them and you know their guidance. It's like those relationships we build and things we can take those steps to do. It just opens up a whole new door to connect with people, but also maybe someone in that crowd needed to hear her say that
Mm,
and give them the courage to speak up or ask for help too.
so true. So true. And Crystal, you had a personal experience with this recently. We're talking about connecting beyond work and investing in relationships and communities that nourish you for who you are, not what you do. And I don't know if you mind sharing, we were talking about a women's group and
Yeah.
maybe possibly starting a women's group. And then you thought about it, you're like, I mean, do you mind sharing a little bit about that experience? Because that's
Yeah.
kind of what we're talking about, connecting beyond work. We have a tendency to turn everything into a work
Yeah,
event.
so recently I've just found this desire to really want to connect with other women authentically. Just that, that ability to build friendships, right? And kind of, I don't know, like understand each other, relate with each other. And I do still think that there may be a time and a space where I'd like to do something similar to what we do for mindful moments, but open to the public for individuals. But going through and thinking like maybe I need to start something or maybe we should start, and it's like hold on, no, I don't need or really want to be in charge of creating and starting something else for everybody else's healing. Not that I don't, I know that sounds, that could be taken in a way that I don't intend for it to. Like I am almost 24/7 about everybody else's healing. But I think that being able to identify that what I really need in this moment of my life is just to be able to show up at something that somebody else has already created, that already exists, just be able to show up as Crystal and connect with other women that are looking to connect. I don't have to, go out and start something right now and create it and, host it and do all the things and put that work in for everybody else in this time. Because in this time of my life, that's not what I really need. Like when I dive in deep and I consider it, what I need is just to connect authentically with others in a space that I don't have to manage.
And I think it's reminding ourselves we don't have to reinvent the wheel. I was actually talking to one of our community partners about like an IOP program recently. And I was like, you should just have an MOU with us. Like you're right there in Tampa. Like, and he's like, I told my CEO that because she wanted to create a whole thing for our students. And it's like, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. You guys are a resource. You can help our client, like you can help our students. We already have it set up. Like the building blocks are there. It's there. We can connect. And then if in the future they want to go and start this when they already have so much on their plate with their school that they have, he's like, it makes sense just to partner and have an MOU. Like we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can start something new, but we are able to, dive into other groups and things like that, or just be like, hey, let's just go out. Something like that.
And we're good at taking on the responsibility of creating, facilitating, operating groups and events and connections with people. But there's a different vibe when you show up as a participant. And I think we do, what I'm hearing you say, Crystal, is that we do so much of the organizing, facilitating, planning. That stuff's exhausting. And a lot of that, let's just use a lunch-in service as an example. People think, oh, it's not a big deal. For me, it's the part of my job that I like the least. I have to worry about what you want. I have to, and I try to do it with a good attitude and a good heart. I'm afraid I'm going to get the order messed up. Did I order at the right place? Publix here or 20 miles makes a huge difference. Crystal, I know you continue to engage in those shenanigans.
Yeah.
But all of those things, going to pick it up, taking it in, it is, and it's nothing that we get credit for. It's not met on a productivity report or in our KPIs. Like, oh, you did 3 lunches this week, and you get some credit for that. No. So I said that to say this is sometimes I don't want to worry about what it is that you want. It's that bad? No, it's not, Anna. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I think, it's easy to also hide behind that part, right? So like
stop it.
if I'm so caught up in creating this other space and facilitating a group and putting it on for other people, right? Like it's giving me the opportunity to not dive in and really see and reflect, like, what do I need? Like, what is my body and my heart and my soul craving right now? I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm thinking about how can I make sure this goes so well for each of you because I want to provide a space for your healing.
Yeah.
But if
that says a lot, Crystal, that's actually says a whole lot. And we talked, brings us to the third thing, setting boundaries that honor you. Healthy boundaries protect your energy, your well-being, and the relationships that matter most. And one of the things that came up in Mindful Moments Recharge was having a relationship with ourselves, that being a priority. The relationship with myself, what boundaries am I putting in place? And it could just be like, no, I'm not. My boundary is I'm not starting a new group. I'm going to find one and just go participate. That's a boundary. That's a huge boundary, especially for women like us that we're like, oh, we'll create it. we're going to do that. It's a complete opposite energy, and it's really being vulnerable
Hmm.
to say this is outside of my control, and I'm going to go experience it as it is and not have the responsibility behind it. Does that make sense? I'm just kind of hashing that out as I share. Like, it's a vulnerable position not to facilitate, be in control, you know, be responsible for it, which is kind of strange.
I do think it is a vulnerable space because now you're instead of being the person owning the room and the situation, right? And you're creating and all of these things and people are attending because they believe and trust in what you've created. Like you're stepping outside of that and choosing to step into somebody else's space that they've created for individuals and you're choosing, I mean, it comes back to being vulnerable. You're being vulnerable to hoping that this is going to be a space where you can continue to work through whatever you're going through and heal and build and connect with other individuals that you're not familiar with and you don't necessarily know.
I never really thought of that until just now as we're talking together. And this is what happens when we're able to connect with people that we trust. I just discovered something about myself this morning that I didn't know. And exploring who you are, revisit the things you love, the passion you put on hold, and the dreams that are still calling you. During our session this morning, we gave everyone permission to go do that thing that you really want to be doing, that you don't need permission to do it, just go do it. And um so Carly, what would that thing be for you? That thing that maybe you've been pushing off, or I know you're extremely active with your family, your children, your business, you have great friendships. What would that one thing be for you if you said, I'm going to do this thing?
I think, well, there's like two, I guess. The responsible one is I need to go through my clothes. I really do. I have an issue, I have a problem. I have a problem. I don't like doing laundry. My husband will attest to it that I'm the worst with laundry, and I'd live out of a laundry basket if I could, honestly, out of my dryer. I did when I was single. It was fine. So the responsible thing that I've been putting off for a very long time is going through my clothes. But the unresponsible thing that I need to do for myself is to get back into doing Legos because I have bought like some pretty big ones. And when I was pregnant with Karen, I was obsessed and I did them all the time. And I just loved it. And I loved doing it. And then after I had her, I don't know if it was like postpartum or what, but then I just stopped. And every time I've gotten one since, I just kind of push it off or I give it to Gabe to do, which he loves. It's fine. But I've just noticed like in those things, like I need to do something for me. I need to like, this is my time. Like I started reading books, like my own personal, I have my Kindle Scribe, and that's helped me a lot. Like do something for me where I'm like, no, I'm going to read. Like Jesus will ask me something. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to read. Like, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to read. But that is one thing, like, and it sounds silly, like building a Lego, having to put time aside for that, but I don't. And I put it off for a long time. And I think it was my postpartum, to be very honest, that I went through. And just doing that because I do my nails and that's like my consistent because if they grow out, I get shamed by someone here. Um, but like that is my one thing I can definitely personally do, and then responsibly is my clothes.
So what if it were the other way? What if the most responsible thing you could do for yourself were the Legos?
That's fair. My husband wouldn't agree with you, but
But we don't need outside. Remember, we don't need
I
permission.
know we don't need
Remember,
permission. You're not wrong. You're
we
not
don't
wrong.
need permission.
No, we don't. You're
I
true.
mean, if you were talking about like taking a second mortgage out on your house or something,
I
maybe you need
mean,
permission. Let's just add a
Or at
little.
least good communication. Not necessarily
yeah,
permission, but like good solid communication. Let's not break
Yes,
apart families.
no, we're not saying that, guys. We're not saying go buy the 30,000 or 35 or $40,000 truck. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about, I mean, I think Legos. Do I have to agree with you? We say no.
No. No, I love that. I think that, the fact that you have something that you also know, kind of soothes your mind and soul and well-being. Like there's a lot of us out here that I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm making an assumption, but there is something that I've gone through where it's like trying to identify what that thing is for me. What is the Legos for me, right? So the fact that you're able to like, I love that. And I think that being able to embrace that and, like you should go and build some Legos and
Oh
do it.
gosh.
Like just do it.
I have like a big one too that I just have under my bed that I keep putting off. I really want to do it.
I
So
can't wait to see the pictures, is what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Crystal, I have a feeling I know something I could suggest, but I'm not going to. This is all about you. What would your thing be? There's been something you mentioned in the past several times that I'm like, yes, do it. But what would your thing be?
Well, I'm trying to think of what I've mentioned because I don't know. My brain is like, it's like like squirrels in there, like, so like thankful that you don't live in here, guys. But, you know, for me, I think being able to be in the like near the water. One thing is that I'd really like to be able to spend more time just kind of like with myself, somewhere near or in the water. There's something about that is very serene for me. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess that would be the thing.
That's what I was thinking. You said you wanted to go tubing for a while.
Tubing.
That's what came up into my mind was the
yeah.
water,
Yeah.
right? And you got time. There's still time during the summer. Don't think we talked about in Mindful Moments Recharge where I'm starting to see pumpkins and like bales of hay. I'm like, what are you talking about? We're like a month into summer. Summer technically it started like what,
It's
June
Halloween
21st?
time. We're
Yeah,
not
you
saying we're not
Halloween.
saying it's fall. It's Halloween time. There's a
It's
difference.
it's
Okay.
a
Ah,
Halloween
I'm
summer.
still gonna sweat through it anyways. It's still gonna be hot until February. Okay. Like it
I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
there is a good point there. Like it is Florida. It feels like it's hot all the time. So, if you want to add a little pumpkin spice in there,
Yeah.
you know,
As
Pumpkin
your
spice
pumpkin
iced
spice.
coffee.
yes.
Literally.
With
I
caramel,
love it.
actually, that's really good.
Oh, yum,
Mhm.
yum.
Yeah.
Um, so I do want to pause here and talk about Mindful Moment's second birthday
Wait
because
a second. Wait.
it's
So I'm really excited for you to do that, but also you didn't give us your thing.
Oh yeah, it's your thing. And she tried to avoid it. Look at that. She
Uh,
was trying to fix you.
I
Mm-hmm.
I would love to share that. I think I'm distracted. There's a bird on my window picking off bugs. So I was usually distracted. I love to create things. I love to paint. I love to do messy art, make ugly art, and I haven't done that in a long, long time. And it's actually so easy. That's what I would love to do. And the thing, here's the thing, pretty much what we said. I mean, Crystal, yours is a little more detailed. You have to like get up, leave your house, go do stuff, prepare, you know. With the stuff that Carly and I are talking about, and I think that this happens a lot of times, we don't have to do much. It's like there.
yeah.
We don't have to leave our
Under my
house. And kudos that you're like, oh yeah, I want to go be near water. And even that's not a huge production unless you bring the fam. That's a whole different thing. But if you're doing it for you and you're going out for you, it's not that big of a production. But how many things are we pushing off that's so accessible? That book that you want to read or that, paint is I have a girlfriend that does the gems that you put the
Oh
gems on
yeah, the
and it makes the
diamond
paints.
things.
The
diamond
diamond
gem.
art. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Or even maybe it's a phone call to a family or friend that you haven't talked to in a while. Those easy, super accessible things that fall through the cracks or we push off because we are focused so much on our role, meeting our goals professionally. Um, and I really think that it's the Legos, going to visit the water, and making the ugly art that makes us better in our role. It's the training that you're not going to get from work. It's the training that you don't really receive anywhere. It's going within, connecting to who you are and what it is that you want to do. So yeah, I think it's fairly easy asking yourself, what is it that we really want to do?
Mhm.
And I'll say this too, because I love to talk. Just going in and asking yourself that question matters. Even if none of us go tubing, make ugly art, or do Legos, I want to know myself.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
want to know myself.
Mhm.
So asking those questions to explore who you are. What do I really want? How am I really feeling? What do I really need right now? Those are important questions throughout the day that we will help us get to know ourselves without, you know, even without the follow through. The follow through is just like icing on the cake, super sweet, super great, super nice. But paying attention to ourselves is also equally as important.
No, I agree. I think that's really powerful. And just being able to ask, like, how can we show up for ourselves today?
Oh,
Mhm. Mhm.
so good. That's such a good question. All right. That said, I am going to jump into Mindful Moment's second birthday, August 21st, here in Ocala, live and in person from
Be there
11
or be
to,
square.
yeah, 11 to 1. This is 2 years of beautiful, beautiful moments together. We celebrated with music. We celebrated with tears. We celebrated with laughter, plenty of jokes. We joke for days. It's ridiculous. The people that join us have a great sense of humor. So many lives have been touched, supported, lots of referrals as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
So people getting treatment, us making um, sure that there's a place for everyone to go. 2 years, and that's beautiful.
I'm so excited. Like, this is gonna be our first, like, real, like, we did a little coffee thing, but it wasn't really like the full-on mindful moments thing. Like, this is our first in-person celebration gathering, and I could not be more excited. I hope that whoever is listening to this, like, reach out, get the details. If you have us on socials, you'll see the flyers we're sharing. We would love to share this moment with you. We are so excited and so proud. I am so grateful for the connections with you two ladies and with the community that we have built. My heart feels so full when I think about what we have done together.
Yes, yes. And I don't know, Carly, thank you. It was an event at Phoenix House that brought us all together. And
Mhm.
that was a great event. That was an amazing event. So a special shout out and thank you to Phoenix House. Also, we want to thank Recovery Unplugged. Recovery
Mhm.
Unplugged, you rock. You help so
Definitely.
many people. We
Literally, they rock.
appreciate you. They really do rock and roll
Yes.
and all kinds of other music. It's not just rock and roll. And the Vines Hospital, big shout out to the Vines Hospital. Thank you for supporting the community, not just Mindful Moments, but Mindful Moments is a community project. And we're grateful for those organizations.
We are.
Of course, NAMI.
Of course.
The three
We
of
love
us are pretty active with NAMI.
Hmm.
Mhm. I love it.
Yeah,
I
we'll have
love
to do a podcast on that. But I think
it.
this is a great place to bring this to a close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Yay.
thank you
Until
for
next
joining
time,
us. Until next time,
mind your
mind your
Yeah.
moments.
moments.
Yes.